Hey guys, all right. We are now going to do guided writing, and we're going to do it based on the story about that naughty Oliver cat that we read on Monday. So, what you're going to need is a piece of paper and a pencil. I am going to use a marker just because it will be easier for you guys to see. You can use a marker too if you want to, that's totally fine with me. If you make a mistake, you'll just cross it out. No big. All right. What we need to do, we are going to discuss what happened at the beginning, what happens in the middle, and at the end of the story about Oliver. And we talked about it at the end of the story on Monday. And now we have to go back and remember. Now, if you cannot remember the Oliver story at all, please go back to the Monday slides and click on the link to rewatch the story. Or if you signed up for the literary books, you can go and just click on the book and read it again. That's totally fine. What we're going to do now, you can have a grown up do this part for you, or you can do it on your own. Either way is totally fine by me. You are going to write in the beginning at the top of your paper. Notice how I turned my paper sideways? That way I'll have more room. So I would turn yours sideways too. You don't have to, but I would not have enough room if I didn't. So in the beginning. Then in the middle of the paper, you're going to write in the middle. Oops, I spelled middle wrong. Sorry, guys. Oops. And then you're going to write on the far side at the end. All right. Go ahead and pause it if you need to finish writing this, or if you want to go find a grown-up to do it for you. All right, so pause the video and then come back after you have your sheet looking like this. Okay, so what did Oliver, that naughty cat, do at the beginning of the story? Where was Oliver? Who remembers? Yep, I remember. Oliver was in the kitchen. So we're going to make our plan for our writing. So at the beginning, Oliver was in the kitchen. We're not going to write whole sentences yet. We're just writing our plan. He was in the kitchen. What did he do? Yep, he jumps up on the counter. Anything else happen? Oh, yep, you're totally right. The jam fell off the counter. So jam fell. All right. So that's what happened at the beginning of our story. All right. What happened in the middle of our story? Where was that naughty Oliver in the middle of our story? He was in the living room. Good remembering. Where was he sitting on while he was in the living room? He was in the windowsill. Do you remember that? What was on the windowsill with him? Anybody remember? Yep. He pushed the plant off, didn't he? Made a big mess on the floor. Yeah. So the plant fell off. All right. At the end of the story, where did Oliver go? What room was he in? Do you remember? He was in the bedroom. Remember what furniture he was sitting on? He was sitting on the dresser. What did he use to make the big mess this time? The powder. The powder fell off. Made a big mess on the floor. Remember? It fell and it went everywhere. That was the big word that we used. So if you need to go back and look at the book to find that word everywhere, go ahead and do it. And what happened at the very end? What was the last thing that Oliver did? You remember? He took a nap. Oliver took a nap. So this is our plan. We just took our thoughts and we wrote them down really quickly so that they wouldn't pop out of our brains, because we have to get all of our thoughts out on paper so that they don't run away from us. My thoughts run away all the time. So this is not how we want to write it down, right? This is not how we tell what happened at the beginning, the middle, and the end. This is just our notes, our plan. So what you want to do now is you want to open up a new piece of paper. I would take a separate paper and set them next to each other. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to rip a piece of paper out of my notebook like this. And then I'm going to set them on my table right next to each other. My screen's not big enough, but they would be sitting right next to each other so I can look at my plan while I'm writing my paper. And actually, I would probably want to put my paper the right way now so I can write on the lines. Then you're going to write what Oliver did using the full sentences. So something like, in the beginning, Oliver was in the kitchen. He was on the counter. He pushed the jam off, and it got everywhere. Now would be a good time. You can pause it and write down what you remember happening at the beginning of the book with Oliver. So go ahead and pause the video and come back when you're done. Okay, so now let's go on and write in full sentences what happened in the middle. In the middle, Oliver was in the living room. And you don't have to write my same words. I actually don't even want you to write my same words. I want you to write your words, the words that you remember about what Oliver did in his Naughty Naughty book. So go ahead and write your words about what you remember about what Oliver did in the middle of the book. Pause the video until you're ready and then come back. All right. So the last thing we have to do is write about what Oliver did at the end. So you'll start with at the end. And then what might you write? Would you write that Oliver was in the bedroom? You should definitely write something about the power falling off. Maybe even that it made a big mess. And then you can put finally, or at the very end, or at last, Oliver took a nap. When you are done with your writing, if you will please take a picture of it and you have your mom or dad or grandma or grandpa, whoever, email it to me or post it on Seesaw so that I can see all of your hard work, because this is a lot of writing and I'm so excited to see the hard work that you did today. All right, see you later. Bye.